in a time of 52.92, a new high school national record. Back to back to back to back state champions. Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is live from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2019 NSAA Football Championships. And this afternoon in our second championship of the day, it's a Class D2 showdown as Humphrey St. Francis takes on the Pleasanton Bulldogs. And hello again, everyone. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Husker Jay Moore. It's great to have you with us this afternoon here at Memorial Stadium as we get set to crown champion number 2. And really, Jay, we have a contrast of styles here.
Yes, we do.
Pleasanton loves to go up top and move the ball through the air. St. Francis, they just rely on Taylor Wimhoff.
Yeah, they do. He is a spectacular player. Likes to run up over 1,500 yards rushing, 25 touchdowns. This kid he can get up and down the field. They're going to lean on him heavily throughout this offense. It's just crazy. You're going to see a team keep it on the ground with St. Francis. You're going to have Pleasanton chucking all over the turf this afternoon.
You look at the other side for Pleasanton. This is a team that certainly did not expect to be here after being 2-6 last year, but this guy has led the way, Jackson Keyshaw.
Yeah, he's been the guy. He's had. Here's a crazy thing. You look at even in football, he has 3 receivers go for over 30 catches in a season. One almost has 60 on the year. So obviously they like to throw it on the field. Over 2,000 yards passing, 30-some touchdowns. He's spectacular. He's dynamic. For a team get their first playoff win since 2011. Coming to this year, it's gonna be fun to see them throw it around the yard.
Yeah, it'll definitely be, again, a contrast of styles. One likes to keep it on the ground, the other through the air. The third member of our crew is down in the field. Let's go down to Doug Duda.
Hey, thanks, guys. As you said, this is really where were these two programs just 1 year ago. Humphrey St. Francis lost in the semifinals to eventual champ Johnson Brock 58-44. Here they are back undefeated, the #1 team out of the East, the 9th time they've been in a state final where they're 4-4. Pleasanton, as you mentioned, 2-6 last year, couldn't make it into the playoffs. They have got things going in what was a real topsy-turvy western half of the D2 bracket. You take a look at the final 4 teams there. They were the 5th, the 7th, the 8th, and the 11th seed. Pleasanton, the 7th seed, avenging one of their losses in the semifinals to Overton, where they had less than 100 yards of total offense, but special teams was big. Can they get those kind of breaks? We saw some big ones in special teams in game 1. Pleasanton will need some of those to have a chance here today.
Well, thank you very much, Doug. Here's a look at the tale of 2 seasons for these two. You see 2-6 last season, 10-2 this year, as Doug pointed out. Here's a look at the 2 teams in a comparison. And Humphrey St. Francis, they rack it up offensively and hold their opponents to less than 10 defensively. And when you look at this ledger, it certainly seems to favor the left side of the.
Absolutely. The only thing that favors, Pleasanton this one, he's looking at the takeaways.
Yeah.
A team that can obviously get his hand on the football and flip momentum. But overall, you look at a team like Humphrey St. Francis, like to keep it on the ground, owns the clock, owns the possession arrow, and that's huge in a game like this, because now you have a team like Pleasanton, if they can get it going and scoring fast with throwing over the field, but they can score some points. They're unsuccessful. That possession, that time of possession now swings hugely in favor to Humphrey St. Francis, who keeps it on the ground.
Well, I want to remind you can also watch today's game live on your computer, your tablet, or your smartphone. Just go to netnebraska.org/sports or on the free NET Nebraska app. Live streaming is also supported through Apple TV and Chromecast. You can get the free app at netnebraska.org/apps. You heard Doug Duda mention the history of these 2 squads. Eric Kessler's St. Francis Flyers were state champs back in 2015. They were runners-up in 2008, champions in 2009, runner-up in 2012. 9th championship game in 34 playoffs. And always a good crowd here to support the Flyers of Humphrey St. Francis, who are unbeaten. On the other side, a good crowd here from Pleasanton as well. Pleasanton, of course, just north of Kearney. 10-2 on the year. Their losses were in back-to-back games. They lost to Overton 44-32. They lost to Elwood 14-13 in a close one. But the good news for Pleasanton, they bounced back and knocked off Overton in that semifinal game, 12-6, in which Overton, I think, outgained them in total yards 300-60. They just found ways to win. And I think that's kind of been, that's been what Pleasanton has been about all year, just doing the little things, believing in yourself, and finding a way to win.
Yeah, we saw the huge stat. You saw the takeaways in that game.
Yep.
Overton got down to the 1, the 3, the 5, and they kept turning it over in a game like that. So obviously, very opportunistic defense taken away. But one stat you got to keep in mind here with Humphrey St. Francis, I forget to mention, comparing them, 5 total shutouts for Humphrey St. Francis this year. Wow. So they're obviously going to be tested heavily against this air raid attack of Pleasanton, and we'll see it'll be just fun to see the two styles kind of go head to head here.
Well, that's adorable right there. Let's go to Heath Kramer for introductions.
The NSAA is proud to recognize our premier corporate partners for their outstanding support of NSAA activities. U.S. Bank, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association, Nebraska Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, and CHI Health St. Elizabeth. And now for the introduction of the players and the coaches. First, for the St. Francis Flyers, number 1, Hostin Forney. Number 2, Taylor Wemhoff. Number 4, Landon Cush. Number 5, Trevor Pfeiffer. Number 6, Tanner Pfeiffer. Number 7, Justin Liefeld. Number 24, Caden Hackerott. Number 25, Evan Foltz. Number 31, Austin Liefeld. Number 44, Dustin Ulmer. Number 50, Carter Welch. Number 55, Dylan Wemhoff. Number 80, Colby Clausen. And number 86, Sam McPhillips. The head coach for the Flyers is Eric Kessler. And now the rest of the Humphrey St. Francis players and coaches.
So there they are, the 12-0 unbeaten and historically dominant Humphrey St. Francis Flyers, led by Coach Eric Kessler in his 17th season. There is their tournament resume: 38th appearance in the football championships, 9th in the title game. They last won it in 2015. And they were thrilled to knock off Falls City's Sacred Heart in the semifinals. Otherwise, this would have been the first senior class in decades not to make it here to Memorial Stadium. Let's go to Heath Kramer for the introduction of Pleasanton.
For the Pleasanton Bulldogs, number 2, Gray Kingston. Number 4, Seth Eckel. Number 8, Tice Westland. Number 9, Brady Klein. Number 10, Trevin Went. Number 11, Chase Pulaski. Number 15, Wyatt Reese. Number 16, Grady Chandler. Number 21, Kessler Dixon. Number 25, Riley Hadwiger. Number 26, Tyler Bailey. Number 31, Broderick Pate. Number 32, Connor Hand. Number 35, Jackson Keyshaw. Number 54, Carter Klein. And number 55, Mason Lammers. The head coach for the Bulldogs is Ricky Westland. And now, the rest of the Pleasanton players and coaches.
And there they are, the Bulldogs from Pleasanton. What a turnaround it's been for that team. 2-6 last year to 10-2 this year. And here at Memorial Stadium under head coach Ricky Westland, who's in his 23rd year at Pleasanton. These two schools just about 2 hours and 10 minutes apart. Pleasanton just north of Kearney, and Humphrey St. Francis just north of Columbus. How did it get here? We'll look at the bracket. Pleasanton with wins over Twin Loop and Overton. That Overton was quite a game, and St. Francis an opening round win against, or not opening, but quarterfinal win against Plainview, and then that tough battle with Falls City Sacred Heart to make it here to this championship. Let's go back to Heath Kramer for the introduction of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor America as the Holdridge High School Sextet, under the direction of Ashley Brock, sings our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose black stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang high, the bombs bursting on high, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, let's hope the game is as good as the national anthem, the Holdridge High School Octet. We're ready for the Class D2 state championship game. It's St. Francis, the Flyers, taking on the Bulldogs of Pleasanton.
Not just on the good days. Not just on the challenging ones. Not just during business hours. Or when relaxing. But always. For the past 125 years, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska. Always alongside you.
High school sports fans, when your team isn't playing or you want a break from the action, GoSarpy.com has the latest for concerts, family fun, shopping, and more. Just minutes from the state championship venues, Sarpy County also has over 2,000 hotel rooms. GoSarpy.com's calendar of events will help you plan your next adventure in Sarpy County. GoSarpy.com, so near, so fun.
Education quest, take 4.
Why do you want to go to college?
I get to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Independence, living on your own.
I need to prepare myself for the future.
What's your biggest challenge in going to college?
Probably the hardest part is the application.
Deciding where I want to go.
College is a little scary. It's a lot harder and a lot more work.
The financial side of it is really confusing.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
Chadron State College, offering several online master's programs. Students can earn an organizational management degree in human services, sports management, or natural resources. Chadron State College also offers an accredited online Master of Business Administration degree. The 8-week online courses allow students to work at their own pace wherever they are. Chadron State College, serving Nebraska and beyond since 1911. Information at csc.edu.
Back here at Memorial Stadium, 54 degrees, winds at about 13 miles an hour. Terrific afternoon for a state championship game here in Class D2. Here are our officials. Brian Dahm is the head referee. Jeff Cagle, Chris Berry, Brian Chapman, Nate Hahn, and our Red Hat as always, is Rick Stromer. Eric Kessler, the head coach of the St. Francis Flyers. They come in unbeaten on the year, 12-0. Pleasanton Bulldogs, led by Ricky Westland, 23-year head coach, 130-92. This school looking for their first ever state title. So we're ready to go with Class D2 state championship. Contrast of styles as we said off the top.
Yeah, I mean, polar opposites. Yeah, Humphrey, St. Francis, they like to keep it on the ground, grind it out. Pleasanton, they will throw it everywhere. Said in the opening, 3 guys, more than 30 catches. One guy, almost 60 catches on the year. I believe it's Dixon, and they can. It's gonna be fun to watch the contrasting styles and see how it plays out.
Trevor Pfeiffer to kick it off, and he kicks it through the end zone. So it will be the 15-yard line is where the Bulldogs of Pleasanton will set up shop. They won the toss here and chose to take the ball and send the early message. Let's go down to Doug on the sideline.
Well, guys, this wasn't the first time Pleasanton got to take part in the tunnel walk. Coach Ricky Westland's wife, Dawn, found an old video when the kids came down for a 4th and 5th grade field trip. They found a way to get on the field, and they posted that on their Facebook page. So Tice Westland's mom, who won a state basketball championship at Gibbon, having a little fun with these guys. They're hoping to have as much fun this afternoon.
No, it's old hat, Doug, no doubt. Quick hitter out to the flat. Good completion right away from Jackson Keyshaw to Trevin Wint, who has 35 catches on the year. And a first down for Pleasanton on the first play.
Yeah, good pitch and catch. Just a quick bubble screen out there to Wint. First of many pitches and catches we'll see from Pleasanton today.
Jackson Keyshaw is the quarterback, the senior 5'11", 196-pounder. He's thrown for better than 2,500 yards. An empty set here. In motion will run the option to the left. The pitch behind Kessler Dixon, and Dixon not much there. Good tackle from the right corner. Tanner Pfeiffer with the play.
Yeah, good discipline play there by Pfeiffer.
Take a look at our impact players here. Tice Westland and Kessler Dixon for Pleasanton, and defensively for St. Francis. Look out for Dylan Wimhoff, 64 total tackles, 9 sacks. There's big Dylan Wimhoff in the middle. You saw him out there on the edge just moments ago. So 2nd down and 9 after a gain of 1. Keyshaw in the shotgun, empty backfield. Across the middle, complete, and dropped right where he caught it. Good catch by Dixon.
It's fun to watch this offense operate. You know, it's again, 8-man, traditionally ground power based, and they're running spread in an 8-man setting. It's just it's fun, and it's cool to watch.
There is Ricky Westland, 23rd year, former assistant at Waverly, played football at Wesleyan here in Lincoln. In motion again goes Dixon, and we have a flag on the play. And that'll back up the Bulldogs by about 5 yards.
Head ball, full start on the offense. Replay 3rd down.
So from a 3rd and middle-ish now to a 3rd and long for this air attack of the Bulldogs. You'd think that with being the Flyers, you might be the team that goes through the air.
Right,
the Bulldogs would be more ground-based. You just have to remember it's
you would assume so.
Right. Kessler in motion again. Open out in the flat, fakes it to him, then the screen over the middle. Good discipline in the middle by this Flyer squad, and the tackle made by Evan Foltz.
Nice play call there. Love the wrinkle. That was a nice thing. They're going to hurry up here, looks like. Maybe a quick punt. Yep.
So Keyshaw is back to kick it away. Waste no time. Taken by Taylor Wimhoff. Wimhoff dances around to the 35 out near midfield, and that's where the Flyers will set up shop at about the 38-yard line. We'll be back here at Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
It's
face it, most days are unremarkable. We commute, we work, we practice, and then we do it all over again. When the moment is all that matters, Public Power is there for you. When your livelihood or future career depends on it, we have your back. As the time counts down on the scoreboard, no one is cheering you on more than us. Make each moment of this year and next count. We'll be sure to do the same. Nebraska Public Power District, together with your local public power utility.
Early mornings, late nights, emotionally, physically, mentally tougher. Generations of trust, innovation, and hard work done side by side. The decisions you make for your land and livestock have a direct impact on your operation, the region, and the world. That is why we're there when you need us anytime, every time. We both have one chance, one season, one mission. Tougher together. Aurora and you.
Do it for the guy next to you. Look in his eyes. He's going to do the same for you. You guys got it? That's how we've rolled all year. That's how the Bulldogs roll. Got it? Okay? Work together, win together. That's all you got to think about out there. If you're tired, gassed after play, work together, win together. Do it for the guy next to you. Got it? Okay, guys. Work together, win together. Let's go, boys. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
That's been the theme all year for this Pleasanton team of Ricky Westland. We'll admit they haven't always been the most talented team on the field, but they have proven that they have every bit of grit, determination, desire, want to. That's what's led him here to this championship, and looks like we have another call. This will go against St. Francis.
Ball. Encroachment. The defense. Nope. 3-point first down.
So I missed it. He was obviously offsides on Pleasanton. So a 1st and 5 now for the Flyers. And there at quarterback is Trevin Pfeiffer, the 6'2", 205-pound senior. He tosses to Taylor Wimhoff. A short gain of 2 for Wimhoff on first down. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3.
Similar offenses we saw in the D1 game. Get the QB leading up the lead block on the toss play.
Wimhoff in that very tight eye rushed for nearly 1,500 yards. Quick dive there. He's going to come up just a little bit short. It'll bring up 4th down, and call 1 or 2. And here are the impact players for St. Francis. We told you about Pfeiffer, Alsto Liefeld, and Tice Westland. So it'll be 3rd down. Check that, 3rd down and 1. Keeper by Pfeiffer, spins out of a tackle. That's enough for the 1st down. There's Trevor Pfeiffer, the senior quarterback, rushed for 500+ yards on the year, 16 total touchdowns, 706 through the air.
Good second effort. Not bad job by Pleasanton up front. Give him the initial push, but good job by Pfeiffer in the second effort to get the 1st down.
Pfeiffer's a 3-year offensive starter, 4-year starter defensively. Returning All-State quarterback tosses it out to Wimhoff. You see the flag come flying in after a short gain for Wimhoff.
Already saw him as one of the impact players. Tice Westland, number 8 there for Pleasanton, made a really good play coming over top to get in there on Wimhoff.
Holding was the call. So that'll bring up about 1st and 16 or 17 for the Flyers. Called 16. Good moves, got some room near side. Here goes Wimhoff. And Wimhoff with a nice gain on first down. He needed 16. I think he got 15. Nope, he got all of it. First down.
Yeah, really nice call here. Quarterback leading up. Gets the seal there on 10 from Pleasanton and Wemoff. We're going to get used to calling his name all day. Getting up there on the toss. Good play call there by Humphrey St. Francis.
So good drive here to open up the game for St. Francis at the 20-yard line of Pleasanton. The keeper here by Pfeiffer. He's got room for our sideline. Pfeiffer inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line, 5, and driven out of bounds inside the 5.
Nice little wrinkle there, a little misdirection. We saw a little bit of this in the game before, in the D1 game. Get out there, get seal on the edge. Pfeiffer, good athlete.
Touchdown saving push by Seth Eckel of Pleasanton. So first down and goal from the 4 for the Flyers. Toss back to Wimhoff. Wimhoff puts his shoulder pads down, and he's in for the touchdown. Did not take long for the Flyers.
It's what they do. Methodical, keep it on the ground. A lot of Wemoff. Some Pfeiffer in there to get pretty stress-free first drive for the Flyers.
So they'll line it up back in the eye, going for 2. On top, 6-0. Toss back to Wimhoff again, and he is in there for the 2-point conversion.
Love it. Yeah, just Wimhoff, just good, tough. He's a tough runner. Not the biggest guy. Definitely not the biggest guy, but good pad level there to finish it off. Get down to the goal line, get low, fight for those tough yards, and that was picture perfect right there.
25th touchdown of the year for Taylor Wimhoff. And his Flyers now on top 8-0 in this Class D2 state championship. First possession for the Flyers, they take it the distance. There is Eric Kessler, 169-25, his career record.
That's pretty good.
Not bad at all. Graduated from St. Francis back in 1994, leading his alma mater. His staff, between himself and Dave Strickland and Luke Wiesler, they've been together for 14 years. That kind of consistency leads to wins. Through the end zone on the kick by Trevor Pfeiffer. So Pleasanton back out for its second offensive possession. It will take over at its own 15-yard line. Now you can watch NET Sports anytime, anywhere. Download the free NET Nebraska app. College player profiles, full-length episodes of Big Red Wrap-Up, live web streams. Search for NET Nebraska in the App Store or download it free at netnebraska.org/apps. Keyshaw back to pass, out of the shotgun, over the middle, tip, intercepted, picked off by Tanner Pfeiffer. The sophomore Tanner Pfeiffer heads up. Saw the tip, and Trevor's little brother comes up with the pick.
Yeah, he had guys there. We get 2 guys right over top. He's something early, but some bad spacing there on the offense by Pleasanton. Then Pfeiffer was just right place, right time. Little miscommunication there by the receivers. Not sure. Normally don't need to have 2 guys in the same spot.
Now, if you were drawing up a start for Pleasanton, this would not be the way it would go. Giving up an early touchdown, now a turnover deep in your own territory. Wimhoff with the pitch. Good tackle, he's taken down by Brady Klein from his strong safety spot. Eight seniors on this Flyers squad. Very rare for a D2 school to have, 8 seniors. Some have a hard time getting 8 out for football.
Right.
They have 8 seniors, so very experienced squad. Wemhoff with the carry again. Gain of 3 or 4, though. That's going to bring up 3rd and mid-range for the Flyers. Yeah, Coach Kessler said all those seniors contribute. Maybe not all start, but they all big contributors to this team. And said he wouldn't have known what to say if they wouldn't have won that game against Falls City Sacred Heart in the semifinals, because these 8 seniors have worked so hard throughout the year. They set the tone in the offseason in the weight room. They haven't had a bad game. They go hard every practice, every day. Just 22 on this football roster, 30 boys at the school overall. And those who aren't playing football out here, 4 of them are already getting ready for basketball season. They've started practice already.
The game's in almost less than 2 weeks.
And there's your basketball coach right there, by the way.
So, this is...
It's like, we got to get this done so we can get back home and practice tonight.
That's great. Those are the first little option fullback lead up in the hole with a QB follow. Big Flyers there.
Big play here for Pleasanton. 4th down, 3 to go. Fake to give, a little flip out of the backfield, complete inside the 5, diving, touchdown! Pfeiffer to Pfeiffer, brother to brother, touchdown!
Great play call there. You get them sucked up in there thinking they got to run it. This team runs it. You get a little QB boot, tight end delay.
How many times did that happen in the backyard before here, huh?
Right. Quite a few. Head coach there, he's pumped.
Kessler's not wound tight, is he? That's a fast twitch guy right there. 14-0, trying to extend it to 16 zip. Take the toss to Wemhoff, drop back under pressure, flips it up, just hoping for something, and found that something. Just over the outstretched hand of Tice Westland. Reception by Wemhoff.
Just toss it up and see, just hoping somebody can get lucky. Nice job by Pfeiffer. Love this.
Trevor to
action down. Defense gets you flowing. You forget about the guy on the backside and play with, I talked about earlier in the first game, you got to have good vision. Those bootleg, QB bootlegs, especially in the red zone, you got to have good vision with the defense, and he got him looking inside. Kind of like when Wemhoff run it. Nice little reception there.
Absolutely. Let's go down to the field to Doug Duda.
You guys were talking about Coach Kessler and his emotion. I don't know when the Energizer Bunny stops. The entire pregame that they were out here, I think he was putting on more miles than the kids were in their pregame warm-up, back and forth, up and down. He never stood in one spot for the half hour that I saw him. So he's fired up for this game.
I thought maybe it was just that he didn't eat, but I think it's just he's in his metabolism.
See him right now. I mean, he hasn't stood still for. He's going to wear a hole in that turf. That's where we fix it for the next game.
St. Francis on top. 16-0 here. Still 4:30 to go. 4:50 to go, excuse me, in period number 1, this first quarter. Ulmer will step in to hold. And Pfeiffer gets ready for his 3rd kickoff already here in this first quarter. Back deep is Kessler Dixon and Trevin Went. They have not had an opportunity to return a kick yet. And they will here from the 1. Little stutter step by Kessler Dixon out past the 20-yard line to the 21. Reminder, this is 8-man football, so they've shortened the field here at Memorial Stadium, an 80-yard field, end zone to end zone. The 10-yard lines are the touchdowns.
So I have to pay attention to this. I just noticed some little things. It looks like Pfeiffer, the quarterback, who's also the kicker, tapes up his shoe in a certain way so he can kick. And he just took the tape off. I'll have to pay attention to that next time.
It's like the old Ray Guy days, right?
Yes.
They used to tape up the toe and boy, put that helmet down right into contact goes Brock Pates. Check that, that's not Pates, that's 21, not 31. Kessler Dixon into contact.
See if Pleasanton can get some going here offensively. They've done some nice things in the past game, but just haven't quite gotten that flow. Got some nerves. Got to work through those opening jitters. Just getting yourself back in the in the feeling smooth and let the game slow down for them. Hopefully offensively.
Keishall out near the sideline, but well covered out there was Trevin Wint. That'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Pleasanton shouldn't feel too uncomfortable on 3rd and long for an offense that likes to get it airborne. Got to get something going here offensively. Maybe this is they can get it right here.
So trips to the top of your screen here. Trailing 16-0 on 3rd and 10. They fake it, go back to the screen across the middle. They're just sitting back in that kind of zone defense, keeping everything in front of them, and a nice tackle is made by Justin Liefeld.
Yeah, a really good play by Liefeld. They ran that play earlier in the game, just the opposite way by Pleasanton. First drive and on 3rd down. A good job staying home, playing with good vision, good feel. Another punt for Pleasanton.
Taken at the 32, out past midfield into Bulldog territory, and for the 3rd time here in this first quarter, St. Francis will have terrific field position as they try to take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, this is the Class D2 state championship. Let's take a look back at last year's 2018 title game.
The top-ranked Johnson Brock Eagles faced the Mullen Broncos in pursuit of the 2019 Class D2 state title. Mullen dominated during the first quarter with Lane Edis scoring 3 touchdowns. The Eagles weren't ready to give up and put their offense into action to help take the lead at the half. Johnson Brock's momentum could not be stopped in the second half as Ty Hahn worked both sides of the ball, scoring 2 touchdowns and gaining an interception. As the clock ran out, the Eagles emerged with the victory and took home the 2018 state championship trophy.
And this year it's going to be either Pleasanton or St. Francis. We'll have a new champ here in Class D2. Later tonight, we have the same 2 teams for the Class B title in Scott and Scottsbluff. Scott, of course, the winner last year in the title game. Matt Turman's squad back down here again to try to make it 2 in a row. But they'll face a very tough Scottsbluff team who has an outstanding dual threat quarterback. So here we go, 3:28 to go, first quarter. Room to run for Taylor Wimhoff up the middle. Nice gain on 1st down for the 5'10" senior for the Flyers.
That late set by the offensive line that the Humphrey St. Francis does has almost gotten Pleasanton numerous times to jump. They did it early, but almost got another guy there.
Toss back to Wimhoff again. Cuts it back inside, and he's going to be just shy of a 1st down. Bring up 3rd down and maybe a half yard for the Flyers.
Good job at Pleasanton, feeling out, scraping over top, getting the guy down. See if they can get a stop here in 3rd and long. Kind of switch some of this momentum. It's all been Humphrey St. Francis so far.
This Flyers squad is a 90% run kind of team. You saw maybe that 1 in 10 plays when Pfeiffer connected with Pfeiffer on the touchdown. In the semifinals, Falls City Sacred Heart did a nice job of taking away the primary weapon in Wimhoff, who didn't carry there, but that was the fullback, Austin Liefeld, with the carry on the 1st down. They took away the primary option in Taylor Wimhoff, and Sacred Heart really controlled that, and that's when Trevor Pfeiffer came up big in that semifinal, accounted for all 24 points in that semifinal game. In that win over Falls City Sacred Heart. Rolling to his right, looking down, a little flip toss. Just misses his intended receiver.
Interesting. They could have looked like it could have been almost a hold there on Pleasanton. I know Flyers, Humphrey's jerseys are a little baggy, so could have been seen some. Looked like a little grab. Could have been called something there, but no call from the back judge there.
There's some old school uniforms, aren't
Those
they?
are.
Yeah.
Those are. those are.
You think they're tearaway?
They're almost that time frame. It looks
Right.
like they're.
Expect to see half of it ripped off
Right.
Rozier as he goes around. Toss straight back. Good blocking up front, but a nice job by the Sam linebacker, Trevin Went, to stay at home and make the tackle.
The QB,
Also there was Keishall.
Yep, Keishall, the QB, fitting in there nice.
So that will bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Flyers.
Not only does Keishall throw for over 2,000 yards, he can fit here nicely inside. Splits the two guys. A really good job by Keishall there on that play.
Fakes the give, rolling to his left is Pfeiffer. Breaks one tackle, still on his feet, breaks another. Pfeiffer puts down his shoulder pad, lunges forward, and he's going to come up just short, but a nice job to avoid about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Levin Pulowski from Pleasanton up top here. Shoulders parallel, like I say, his line of scrimmage, really good job setting the edge. Here just Pfeiffer's just too good of an athlete. Just tries to run over a guy there too. You like to see that out of your QB.
Lunge got him to within a yard, so we're going to say 4th down, maybe a long one or short 2 here on 4th. From the 18-yard line. Yep, and a movement on that offensive line for St. Francis. That's going to back them up 5 yards.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Replay 4th down.
The little brother got him.
So that backs him up 5, makes it 4th down and 7. Time ticking down here inside 20 seconds in this first quarter. Dropping back to throw is Trevor Pfeiffer. Up to the air, has a man out there. Got it! Touchdown, Tanner Pfeiffer! Well, that atones for the mistake.
It does. What a throw, what a catch. We saw some phenomenal throw and catches from Burwell in the D1 game, but this one protected in the pocket well, just throws it up there to the little brother. Second pass touchdown for the Pfeiffer family so far in this game. That was beautiful. Good, not bad coverage either. That's a good job of the quarterback throwing it where only his guy can get it, and that's what you teach your QBs to do.
Which one of these teams were we saying was more prolific through the air?
Correct. It's been Humphrey St. Francis so far.
Roll to his right. Looks toward the corner, dives in, and he's in there. 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions, and a 24-0 lead for Humphrey St. Francis.
Go. Just another, like I said, throwing it where only your guy can get it. Kind of get him crossing across the middle. Great job by Pfeiffer bringing it in from his older brother. Well, and then we got the younger brother taking the snap, trying to throw it to his older brother.
Right.
Dive in there. I love it. Anything you can do, I can do, brother. Better, older bro.
Yeah, let's go down to Doug on the field.
Well, guys, we shouldn't be surprised at this Humphrey St. Francis offense. They average nearly 60 points a ball game and only give up 9. That means they've got almost every game this year with a running clock. They've won over 60 points 7 times, including probably the more amazing stat, 3 of their 4 playoff games. They've only had that Falls City Sacred Heart game take them into the 4th quarter, so they try to get business done by halftime.
Yeah, it's amazing, Doug. Their playoff average, 54 points scored, 14 allowed. And that's against the better teams in the state, right?
That's running the football, too.
That's right. That's after you make the playoffs. Ball taken to the 1-yard line for Pleasanton. Good return by Trevin Wint out past the 20 to the 24-yard line. 6 seconds to go here in quarter number 1, and it's been all Humphrey St. Francis. Trevor Pfeiffer through the air, 2 for 3, 39 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Tanner Pfeiffer, 2 catches, 39 yards, 2 touchdowns. See if Jackson Keyshaw can get things going. Nice grab by Westland. Tyson Westland holds on, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 1. And it will set up a 2nd down and short when we come back. Here's the completion from Keyshaw to Tyce Westland. Well, the score after 1, 24-0. Flyers on top.
Dvorak Brothers Ranch's Red Angus understands that agriculture is the backbone of our state's proud educational and activities heritage. For 140 years, we've grown with Nebraska. We look forward to continuing the evolution of the beef industry and recognizing the rich past from which our state's educational programs have benefited. For information on our upcoming Red Angus bull sale or our family's history, DvorakBrothersRanches.com.
Have you ever wondered what happens to soybeans after they're harvested? Every year, soybean farmers invest a portion of their soybean revenue to fund research, marketing, and promotion, which is called the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff. 80% of the harvested soybeans are crushed into soybean meal that's used to feed poultry and livestock. The other 20% is made into soybean oil that's used for cooking oil and biodiesel. To learn more about the Nebraska Soybean Checkoff, nebraskasoybeans.org.
Coverage of the 2019 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, Aurora Cooperative, Constellation Energy, and Sarpy County Tourism. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. 24-0. Eric Kessler's squad out in front after just 12 minutes of play. And here is their resume. I mentioned 38th appearance overall. Look at 4-time state champs, 4-time runner-up. Last time they were here, they won it back in 2015. Nice designed quarterback draw on 2nd down and short. And a 1st down for Keyshaw.
Very nice. Get them spread out. Just take what they're giving you. Nice play by Keyshaw to get you something going here for Pleasanton, because they've been struggling so far in this first half.
Another flag on the play.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Replay 1st down.
It's a little flinch there by Trevin Wint.
Yep.
The clock was getting down there, and a little bit of panic.
So 1st down now and 15 as Pleasanton rehuddles and tries to regroup. Across the middle, complete to Trevin Wint. Gain of 8 on the play on the completion from Keyshaw to Wint. Wint now with 37 catches on the year, nearing 600 total yards.
Good job of covering up the false start the play before, get you back into on timing with the chains.
Michelle's done a nice job. He's 6 of 8 here early on, 38 yards. It was just that one tipped interception which really caused some problems, and now this, as he touches the ball with the knee on the ground, that will be a loss of 7 all the way back to the 35-yard line and bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, the play just got to a bad start. It looked like could have been almost a false start on Pleasanton there, and then the center just rolls it back to him. It's just no chance for Keyshaw to make something happen.
Third and long here for Keyshaw and the Bulldogs. He'll go up top, quick toss, and tipped away. Nice coverage by Taylor Wimhoff. And you can tell that pressure of the Flyers from St. Francis maybe forcing a quick throw there by Keyshaw.
Yeah, just looked a little uncomfortable there, wanted to get it out. He had a little man-to-man coverage down there. He went to the right side, but definitely brought a little extra pressure there, and I guess Wimhoff can't do it all.
Punt by Keyshaw over the head and into the end zone, and the Flyers will take over at the 15. First time that the Flyers have had starting field position in their own side of the field. Oh, so maybe they were on the 38-yard line, not the 40 in one of the other possessions. We forget that sometimes that feels like it's
tomato.
Yeah. Take a look at Tanner Pfeiffer, the backup quarterback and sophomore wide receiver.
Seen him. We get the early QB rollout bootleg there from Big Bro, and he catches the other touchdown.
Somebody again moved early for the Flyers. So back them up to the 10.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. Replay first down.
So first down and 15 from their own 10-yard line now.
Evan Foltz hobbling off there.
He's a 6'2" senior tight end. You look here on the left side of the screen, you see.
Yeah, he got rolled up on. You hate to see that.
Well, they showed pressure, backed out of it, and Pfeiffer keeps it himself. He's got room down the far sideline. Pfeiffer has speed as well. Pfeiffer could go down to the 15, pulled down at the 10, in a touchdown-saving tackle by Tice Westland. 62-yard carry for Trevor Pfeiffer.
I like this Pfeiffer. You look at this. I mean, holy smokes, that's a big hole. Good play call. Catch him off balance a little bit. Back in business again for Humphrey St. Francis.
Now they had him in that spot where they wanted him. Second down and long, and Pfeiffer bails him out with the big run inside the 10. So now down to the 8-yard line. First and goal from the 8. Toss. Plenty of room for Wimhoff. Down to about the 2-yard line for Taylor Wimhoff. Wimhoff so far today, 9 carries, 42 yards, and that touchdown. That last carry went for 6, so now 10 for 48, averaging about 5 yards per carry. Wimhoff again, top of the eye. The keep by Pfeiffer, and he's in there for the touchdown. And right now, Humphrey St. Francis is trying to run away and hide in this D2 championship game. Still 9 minutes to go, quarter number 2, and it's a 30-0 game.
Second time you've just seen this, and again, a lot of Pleasanton defensive linemen on the ground trying to wipe out the legs, and that's a hard one. Not much you can do from the 2-yard line.
Third touchdown for Trevor Pfeiffer, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. And Tanner now under center for the two-point try. He rolls to his right, looks up top, will keep it. And Tanner Pfeiffer in there for the two-point conversion. 32-0 Flyers. It has been a complete performance for the Pfeiffer boys. Well, time now for our NSAA championship trivia. You can be the first person to email the correct answer to sports@netnebraska.org, and you will win this NET Sports Championship shirt, size extra large. Our trivia question is, remember, first email, which team has the most consecutive playoff appearances in Nebraska State football history? Which team has the most consecutive playoff appearances in Nebraska State football history? First correct email to sports@netnebraska.org picks up that sharp-looking t-shirt, size extra large.
Racking my brain on this one.
Hey, look at that. There it is right there. That's the t-shirt. It's a sharp-looking NET championship t-shirt. It was Dan Newburn doing the modeling of the t-shirt. Back out of the end zone, room to the far side by Witt. Witt breaks the tackle. Witt still in the open field. Look out, Trevin Witt pulled down from behind. We have a flag back at midfield, but what a return by Trevin Witt.
Just when you think this might be able to get, some momentum on Pleasanton's side, looks like this one's gonna be coming back. Blocking the back or hold territory.
I don't think you can bring a ball back out of the end zone. And he was clearly in the end zone. You saw him kind of glance over at the official. Let's go down on the field to Doug Duda with more on that.
Yeah, Eric Kessler talking to the side judge down here going, guys, that was in the end zone. And the side judge says, Coach, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't think this is even something you're supposed to look at in replay. I was just going to tell you that it was so important for St. Francis to have Pfeiffer be able to kick it into the end zone. Trevin Witt returned the opening kickoff in the state quarterfinals, 70 yards for a touchdown. And that really kind of set the tone for the football game. And this penalty happened way behind the play, as a matter of fact. So that is weird that they missed that in the end zone. Well, the referee telling Coach Kessler right now that the ball was not out of the end zone. I'm not sure that was right, but nonetheless, Pleasanton has the ball.
I was about to say something too. I'm like, well, maybe.
Yeah. A good pass over the middle. Caught by the leading receiver for the Pleasanton Bulldogs. That's Tice Westland, son of head coach Ricky Westland. Tice with a great season. He missed a couple of games there in the middle of the year, but still the leading receiver. He has 47 catches for nearly 900 yards on the year, 11 touchdowns. In fact, he just went over 900 yards with that last catch on the season. Flag thrown, pass is complete out to Trevin Witt. Trevin right there, good-looking football player, just a freshman. And you heard Doug Duda say he took one back earlier in the playoffs, nearly took one back there. Good-looking young freshman football player.
Really good. This one coming up. I thought so. Chop block. Wentz, one of those three guys that had more than 30 catches on the season. 35 coming to this game. And
so they'll back him up to the 20-yard line after the penalty. Brings up second down and 20 after the chop block call. Back in the gun again is Keyshaw. tipped up, intercepted. Trevor Pfeiffer with the pick. Boy, Flyers doing a nice job just getting the hands up. That was a quick drop, quick throw, but the Flyers created the turnover.
Yeah, really good. 55, gets his hands up, just knocked off, and then Pfeiffer in the right place, the right time. Gets it up there. Heck of a game so far by Pfeiffer.
Wow.
The ball is bouncing. Obviously, everything's going Humphrey St. Francis' way right now.
Second interception for the Flyers. Here's the toss. Good play in the backfield.
Good job by Keishall there. Get him wrapped up. Wimhoff's a really good football player, and him coming underneath the block there to make that play. You see here from his middle linebacker spot.
Yeah, plays right through the blocker. Nice play for the second leading tackler for the Bulldogs. Second down and 8. Short gain of maybe 3 brings up third down and 5. Trevor Pfeiffer already with 2 touchdowns through the air, 39 yards passing, 1 touchdown on the ground, 6 carries, 90 yards. Putting together a complete game.
And an interception.
And the interception. Early candidate for player of the game.
He'd be on my short list.
Oh, nice job waiting for his blocking, stepping through right in the middle, just kind of hesitated momentarily, let the block set up, and Wimhoff good for a first down.
Another toss play. It's almost, these toss plays, sometimes they hit just almost up the middle, just to the left side of the center. Nice, just good feel. The safety has to come down in such a tough spot. Good job by Humphrey St. Francis, just sealing out everyone off the left and right. And Wimhoff just leading up their thing of beauty.
First and goal from the 6. Toss to Wimhoff. Nowhere to go. Tice Westland, the first one there. Leads the team with 13.5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 96.5 tackles for Tice Westland. He's getting some offers, is Tice, as you look at Trevor Pfeiffer there and his numbers, 3 total touchdowns. There's a look at Tice Westland. Already visited Iowa State, has some Division II offers already, opportunities at some NAIA schools. He's just a junior. Touchdown toss from Pfeiffer as he finds Landon Cush. You see the big cast on Landon Cush. He broke that hand, and they said they were going to try to get him the ball a couple of times. He's been an important senior part of this club. He says, look at this, coach, I still caught it.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, it wasn't too stressful of a play, but catching it with a cast in your hand, that's a lot easier said than done. Good job. Good execution. Running away with this thing so far.
It is 38-0. Another 2-point try. And in the corner of the end zone for another 2-point conversion for Tanner Pfeiffer. 40-0, 5:29 to go here in quarter number 2. And if you are the Bulldogs or a Bulldog fan, you have to be a bit shell-shocked right now. And you see there's what you're talking about.
Taping it up.
Tape up that toe for the kickoff. What's coming up here at halftime of this Class D2 state championship game? We'll have a conversation about the softball championships with Tom Masters of the NSAA. Also, first half highlights, and we'll show you some statistics Very one-sided here in this first half of play between St. Francis and the Bulldogs of Pleasanton. Total yards right now in this first half, 202 for the Flyers, 44 for the Bulldogs of Pleasanton. And a net total for the Bulldogs of 0 rushing yards as well. So here's Pfeiffer to kick it deep again. Pounds that through, and it's a touchback.
Well, there's time for Pleasant to do something. To be now. We saw in the D1 game really lopsided first half, obviously, right, with Osceola, and so hopefully they can get something going and turn around the second half, but you got to get it going now.
So back in their quarterback now is Jackson Keyshaw. Dixon in motion again. Here's the option to the left side. Options out, and no gain there for Kessler Dixon. Dixon, one of those players who stepped up when Tice Westland was out with the injury. He had a broken wrist, did Westland, and Kessler Dixon stepped in and led the team, carried 142 times for 722 yards, had 13 touchdowns, caught 58 passes. Dixon has been a complete player for this Bulldog team this year.
I don't know if our mics, I mean, the communication I heard down there from Humphrey St. Francis defense, they communicate. You'd love to hear that, even at this level. Guys communicating to each other, and it's awesome.
Dixon out of the backfield, little floater out in the flat, and that goes out of bounds, and it was a forward pass, so it will be incomplete. 3rd down and 10 upcoming for Pleasanton, who's just trying to get anything going here in this first half. Let's go down to the field to the 3rd member of our crew who's enjoying a beautiful afternoon down there. Let's go down to Doug.
I'd like to think of myself as the first member of the crew, Larry.
Well, that's Jay Moore. I mean, can we all agree on that?
I was just going to tell you, we're talking about the Pfeiffer connection, but you just got to watch Wemhoff in the middle, big 55. Chase Pulaski's a great wrestler, but he's giving up 100 pounds here, trying to take him one-on-one so that they don't have to double team him, and he's doing a decent job. But when you're giving up 100 pounds almost one-on-one on the line, Jay, you know, you know that's a tough task, no matter how good an athlete you are.
Doug, are you saying that Jay gave up 100 pounds at any point during his career?
He's a buffet boy.
I definitely didn't go.
Never gave up 100 pounds, did you?
So
yeah,
I want to get some big boys, but if I ever get, it might have been 80 pounds. Yeah. Might have been some 340, 370 guys in there.
Well, there is Wemhoff, who is 255, and he's straight across from Pulaski, who is 164, so 91 to be exact. It's good completion. That'll bring up 4th down on the completion to the freshman, Trevin Wint. You go for it here, right? I mean,
you got to get something going.
Yeah.
You got nothing to lose. You need some momentum somehow. Get some points before half.
Clock ticking down near the 4-minute mark. It's a first down that the Bulldogs desperately need. 4th down and 2. There's Jackson Keyshaw. He'll operate with 3 receivers, trips to his right. Empty backfield. Here's Dixon in motion again. Nice call. Leans forward and got the first down. The quarterback draw gets the first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's like second time seeing this call in the first half by Pleasanton. It's been tough sledding. They haven't had a whole lot of plays they can lean on. They've had success, and good call. Keep the chains moving. Somehow, some way, get points for half.
Toss out to the 30, complete for 6 yards on first down.
It's a good looking freshman.
Yeah, he is.
It's a really good player.
Catches with his hands out in front of him. Broke off the route really nicely. 35 catches on the year for Trevin Wint. Has 4 here today, so he's up to 39 on the year. Make it 5 now for Trevin Wint. That's enough for a first down. 5 catches now for 43 yards for the freshman Trevin Wint.
It's interesting to see what Pleasanton does there. Those quick throws in the middle. We obviously saw 55 from Humphrey St. Francis. Wemhoff get his hand on that one pick, but Pulowski likes to, they try to cut him. So what's that do? You got to put your hands down and you open up the lane, and it's interesting to see the battle going back and forth between those two guys.
Goes to the same thing, this time to Tice Westland. That's good for about 9 yards, just shy of a first down. Westland, the 6'4", 212-pound junior. And a timeout will be taken by the Bulldogs with 2:10 to go here before halftime, trailing 40-0. Well, this Wednesday on NET, Big Red Wrap-Up moves to a special night and time due to these state high school football championships. You don't want to miss Andy Kindy, who's in for Michael Severe this week. There's Sean Callahan on the show, another guy that slips my mind. They'll look at highlights from the Maryland game and discuss what's ahead for the Huskers during Friday's game against Iowa with special guest Aaron Sorensen from Hale Varsity. You don't want to miss it. Big Red Wrap-Up, Wednesday night, 7 Central on NET.
Finally get to talk about a win.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Sheesh.
Jay Moore, of course, part of that crew there with Andy Kindy and Sean Callahan. So you're gonna drop some positive knowledge on us then.
Absolutely.
For a change? Yeah.
Gonna break down some plays from later in the game, focus on some young players.
Huh.
Be good.
That was a surprising win for Nebraska. Not surprising win, but the margin of victory and the way in which they did it, right? Just the breaks seemed to go their way. How many times this year have you seen a ball go off 2 defenders and fall in the hands of a Nebraska receiver?
How many times have you seen that in the last decade? It seems like
right.
Not a whole lot.
Very near a first down, but it's going to be about a half yard short. That'll bring up 3rd and a half yard. Quick hitter, and what a play out there at that right corner. And Tanner Pfeiffer having a game.
Really nice play. Get trips up to the field up top, trying to get Went there on a little quick throw. He just slips that block. Really good job.
Wow.
You have to read it, anticipate it, play physical, use your hands. Well done by the younger Pfeiffer.
Just a sophomore is Tanner Pfeiffer. Fights through the block, makes the play. That brings up 4th down. 4th and 3 for the Bulldogs. Inside a minute to go before half. Lofts one up there. Tipped. One-handed pick by Pfeiffer. His 2nd pick of the game.
What a grab. I mean, they got some just studs on this team. I mean, gosh, look at this. Just goes up one. I mean, wow. What a play. What a team. This is a good football team, Humphrey St. Francis. Man.
All right, who got higher, Kessler or Pfeiffer?
Right.
And who's running faster?
God dang, that's fun to watch. You get these we always say big time players play big time in big time games, and he is playing big time for Humphrey St. Francis.
Frustration at the end of the play too for the Bulldogs. 47 seconds to go. Pfeiffer drops back. One pump fake. He'll go deep. Got a man out there. Pulled in. Down inside the 5 to the 2. What a dime. Pfeiffer to Wimhoff.
Jeez, one-handed pick, then follows up just with a beauty. Again, throwing it where only your guy can get it. Talk about Wimhoff out of the backfield running it. He says, not so fast. I can go up and make a catch. He caught that 2-point play earlier in the half, and man, what a grab to set up a likely touchdown here again to go up 47, 48 to nothing.
39 seconds to go. That was a 33-yard completion and timeout taken by the Flyers. Complete game by those two T. Pfeiffers, 5 and 6. TNT, they're dynamite. Mickey, I'll be here all night.
But
This week, NET Sports continues its coverage of Nebraska volleyball. Ohio State travels to Lincoln to take court against the 6th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. New poll came out today. Nebraska still at number 6. Match play begins Saturday night, 7 Central on NET, as it's the Buckeyes and the Cornhuskers at 7 o'clock. New poll came out today. Wisconsin still at number 5 after sweeping Nebraska. Nebraska at 6, Minnesota at 7, Penn State at 8. Maybe the biggest surprise is 1-2 is Baylor and Pittsburgh. When do you ever hear Baylor and Pittsburgh?
Oh, not too often.
All right, here we go. From the 1, Pfeiffer keeps it, and he's in there. Another rushing touchdown for Trevor Pfeiffer. His 4th rushing touchdown of the first half. He's got another one throwing and 2 interceptions.
Pleasanton did a halfway decent job defending it there. Again, he just.
So here is.
Big boy just fell forward.
So Tanner back in there under center now for the 2-point conversion. Tanner on the end around. Gives off, and the 2-point conversion is good. Caden Hackenrott. Hackenrott with the 2-point conversion, and it is now 48 to nothing. And I know you're wondering at home, well, I thought when it was 35 to nothing, we would have a running clock. We do. Once there is a 35-point difference between the two teams in the second half, that's when you get the running clock. So we'll come out of the halftime locker room and go directly into a running clock as there is Ricky Westland. Long history in his family of athletic success. His dad, John, was an all-state football player, played basketball at Waverly, won gold in the state high jump. His sister, Joni Sheaf, was an all-class gold medal winner in the 300 hurdles, a national champ hurdler at Wesleyan. Brother-in-law is Monty Sheaf, who was an All-American decathlete at Wesleyan. His wife, Dawn, is a 2-time state basketball champ. So he's got championship pedigree all around him. Does Ricky Westland, so you know this must be frustrating for him. Although this, to be candid, this is a team that maybe at the beginning of the year did not expect to be in this position. You're coming off a year where you're 2 and 6, and you turn it around to 10 and 2 and have some big wins down the stretch just to get here. Quite an accomplishment. For more, let's go down to Doug Duda.
Well, yeah, and it's not like, guys, maybe the football team hasn't been here, but the girls volleyball team, state semifinals the last couple of years. They've got some basketball banners at Pleasanton. St. Francis, of course, they went 16-14 in the volleyball 5th set, and their basketball team for the girls 2 of the last 3 years had been in the finals, and just a handful of years ago, 15 and 16, these boys were in back-to-back basketball finals. So they know how to get to Lincoln and have a little fun. It's just a lot more fun right now on the football field for the Flyers.
Well, no doubt about that. Of course, Westland trying to create that culture there, that culture of winning in football. He had maybe one of his best off seasons ever. He said he really kind of got a sense that this could be a special year last November when they went 2-6, didn't make the playoffs, but these seniors on this team wanted to understand what playoff football was about. So as a team, they went around and started going to the other teams around the area that did make the playoffs and decided at that time, this is where we want to be at the end of the year, and ended up making the playoffs, and maybe surprising to some, all the way down here to Memorial Stadium. And quite a year for the Bulldogs. They're just getting beat up a little bit here in the first half, 48-0 to Humphrey St. Francis. And the Flyers in control as we are at halftime. And we talked about Ricky Westland. He is joined now by Doug Duda.
Well, not exactly where you wanted to be at halftime, Ricky. I knew you and most of the folks figured you were the underdog, but not only is St. Francis playing well, you gave them a couple of turnovers, and they seem to be making some outrageous catches out there, too.
Yes, they're capitalizing. They're making some great catches offensively, and unfortunately defensively. They make some nice grabs, but you mentioned it's not where you want to be at halftime, but I'll tell you what, these kids, for all their accomplishments this year, this is right where we want to be at halftime in Memorial Stadium. So we got to keep focused on kids having fun and realize where they're playing and why they're playing here.
Was listening to a couple of the assistant coaches talking to the kids here in the last couple of minutes. What is the message here at halftime?
The message, just enjoy where you're at. Enjoy the day, because you're going to carry these memories on for the rest of your life.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get in there. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
That's Ricky Westland down here at the half in the D2 state championship game. But, guys, as he said, can't get a trophy, can't play for a title if you're not here. It's just not going their way.
Interactive exhibits for all ages bring sports to life at the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Nebraska's history of high school sports is alive, while historic memorabilia preserve the rich heritage.
The Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame is for fans of all high school sports, like me.
Inside the NSAA headquarters at 500 Charleston Street, just north of Haymarket Park in Lincoln. More information at nebhalloffame.org.
What do you think about going to college?
I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit. That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college.
How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
I'm Nicole Brungart, and I'm a part of the U.S. Women's Bobsled team. I'm a 4-time All-American, and I'm from Norfolk, Nebraska. Bobsledding was definitely not in the picture when I was growing up, but I'm thankful to be where I'm at, and I'll never take that for granted. In my career, I'm getting bumped around, bruised in the back of the bobsled, so it's super important that I keep up with my sleep, my nutrition, seeing my trainer, seeing the chiropractor, and staying in the gym so I can be at the top of my game when competition comes.
Coverage of the 2019 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, Aurora Cooperative, Constellation Energy, Sarpy County Tourism. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium. We are at halftime of the Class D2 Championship. Humphrey St. Francis on top of Pleasanton, 48-0. We are pleased to be joined by Assistant Director of the Nebraska School Activities Association, Dan Masters. Dan, one of your responsibilities is softball. So how did the 2019 championships go?
Went really well. A lot of people always comment about the weather, either makes or breaks the tournament. We had great weather, great showing of fans. And as always, Hastings did a great job in hosting the tournament. And we had some fantastic games. The talent level in Nebraska at high school softball is amazing.
Yeah, I was going to mention that it seems like each year we see more and more athletes going to the next level out of Nebraska, and we're not too far removed from not having the sport in Nebraska.
Yeah, correct. The amount of athleticism, I walk around at the warm-ups every year when these teams are warming up, they can see playing here on the screen, and the athleticism that these girls have and the skill and ability that they have is amazing. The softball's at an all-time high right now in Nebraska.
We had some great finishes, didn't we?
We did. But, you're looking at Wayne right now. Kanishi was just phenomenal on day 3. The whole tournament. Papillion La Vista was strong with ball pitching, and you'll see her again next year. And then Fairbury playing Guardian Angel Central Catholic in that Class C state championship game, going to the if necessary game. What a great series that was as well.
Talk about the sport growing in Nebraska as well in terms of number of schools participating. Where are we at, and what's that like compared to previous years?
So in Nebraska, we're right around 300 member schools, and currently about 150 right on the dot play and participate in softball. Seems like every year we add a school here or there, or a co-op or two. So similar to baseball, softball seems to be trending on the upward tick, and we're gaining a few teams every year, which is fun to see and fun to add to our sports here in Nebraska.
And you mentioned, but Hastings, great facilities. They do a great job. The community gets involved in this, and it seems like it's found a really nice home there in Hastings.
It has. In fact, the RFP for the last agreement just expired. We had the whole process in the last month, and Hastings was awarded the RFP again for the next 5 years. So they're excited to host again for the next few years, and they do a great job. They have great community support, and their facilities are great, and really the amenities around that softball complex provide a lot to the schools and communities that travel so far to participate.
I'm sure they weren't the only one to respond to the RFP, so maybe talk about what was the difference maker for Hastings. You mentioned a couple of things, but were those the primary differences?
Yeah, a big piece of it. We had 3 other communities involved in the process, and at the end of the day, really having 8 fields there on site, 4 to practice on, 4 to compete with, and then having that central hub of 3 layers, a great spot for our media, scorers, and tournament workers. Then you have just the facilities that they have for umpires and VIP place for coaches and administrators to go and relax in between games, and then the way their seating is structured. And they're also adding some backstop extensions. They're making some good improvements, and they're also going to add 10 feet onto each of the dugouts. So they're expanding, and they see the need for that when we come once a year, and they're excited again to make improvements to continue to host.
Been out there a couple of times. It really is special in the way that community supports that event. Let's take a look at some of the champions then. Why don't you recap us here in terms of champions and how those games went?
Yeah, no doubt. Papillion La Vista in Class A. Jordan Ball, one of the top recruits in the nation, led the way there for them. Class B, Wayne. What a great day 3 they had, beating Beatrice. Beatrice was strong. And then Guardian Angels Central Catholic, that's actually a runner-up team. It's Fairbury was the champion. Fairbury came out on top, beating Guardian Angels in 2 games on that last day.
Sometimes those guys do that to you. They just throw things up there to see how sharp you are, to see if you're on top of it. So congratulations.
I appreciate that.
That is Dan Masters. He is the Assistant Director of the Nebraska School Activities Association. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it here at halftime. We are at halftime of the D2 title game. It's 48-0. Humphrey St. Francis on top.
FFA's vision is to build leaders, grow communities, and strengthen agriculture. The funds from Constellation will most likely be directed to one of those areas. But most importantly, people need to know that it is at the local level. It's helping local chapters.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
The morning doesn't always start when you want it to. It starts when it has to. And day or night, we're up when you are. Through the good times, through the tough times, for the necessary and the unexpected. Even when you don't need us at all, we're just a light switch away. And when it's finally time to call it a night, we keep the lights on, ready to do it all over again. Nebraska Public Power District, powering your everyday, every day.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
NET Sports provides 200 hours of local Nebraska high school sports and collegiate sports each year, more than any other Nebraska network. On air or online, NET Sports, Nebraska's home for sports.
Live streaming for the NSAA State High School Football Championships is also available at the NET website and on the free NET Nebraska app.
Back at Memorial Stadium, sun setting across the east side of the stadium. A little sun left on that west side, 48-0. The sun has been shining all afternoon on the Flyers of Humphrey St. Francis. They took the first drive of the game in for the touchdown. Over Pleasanton. Well, on Friday, we had the six-man championship being contested at Cope Stadium out on the campus of the University of Nebraska-Kearney. McCool Junction wearing the home white. Harvard is the opponent. Well, I'm sorry, Harvard wearing white. McCool Junction home wearing the black. Dana Hobbs, 11-yard rushing touchdown right here. Finds the pylon. This one tied it up at 6. Then we head to the second quarter. Noah Okraska, 44-yard passing touchdown to Ethan Piper. Made it 22-12. Now a two-score game. And then near the end of the first half, Chase Wilkinson punches it in from a yard out to keep it close. Pick it up here in the third quarter. Hobbs comes up with the big sack of Okraska. Still 27-30, tight game. On 4th and 15, 26-yard strike to his younger brother Ben from Okraska. Hobbs then intercepted by Harms. Harvard with a chance to go up by 3. Harvard fans signaling other way. Fourth quarter, same drive. Okraska 17-yard strike to Piper, and he's in there for the touchdown, and now a 3-score game. McCool Junction turnover on downs in the next drive, and on another 4th and long, the touchdown wraps it up. The Gatorade bath ensues, and a state championship for Harvard. Congratulations also to McCool Junction, who finished the runner-up in Class D6, and Harvard raises that championship trophy. That was the Class D6 six-man championship, as you see Harvard knocking off McCool Junction 50-33 in the outstanding players below. We again are at halftime here in this Class D2 state championship game. D2 8-man football from here at Memorial Stadium. 48-0, St. Francis.
This is NET, Nebraska's public television station.
I'm Nicole Brungart, and I'm a part of the U.S. Women's Bobsled team. I'm a 4-time All-American, and I'm from Norfolk, Nebraska. Bobsledding was definitely not in the picture when I was growing up, but I'm thankful to be where I'm at, and I'll never take that for granted. In my career, I'm getting bumped around, bruised in the back of the bobsled, so it's super important that I keep up with my sleep, my nutrition, seeing my trainer, seeing the chiropractor, and staying in the gym so I can be at the top of my game when competition comes.
Not just on the good days. Not just on the challenging ones. Not just during business hours. or when relaxing. But always, for the past 125 years, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Prison is not about rehabilitating. It just isn't.
This is a full-time, total commitment. When that door closes, you're at Bard College.
It changes your whole outlook.
That is where transformation happens. That is what stops people from coming back to prison.
Tonight at 8 Central on NET World.
Coverage of the 2019 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, Aurora Cooperative, Constellation Energy, Sarpy County Tourism. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. Back at Memorial Stadium, 48-0, and the question is, Doug Duda, is Eric Kessler still bouncing?
Eric Kessler, I asked him how much gum he's had. He said a lot so far, but Coach, the kids couldn't have played much better than they did in the first half.
Yeah, we did a good job in the first half. I knew we were ready to play, just kind of how we've prepared, and today just routine. I knew we were focused, ready to go, and we played well in the first half.
Obviously a lot different than the last time you were in the finals where you had a nail biter down to the last few seconds.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. I'm really happy where we're at. We're obviously not done yet, but it feels good how we played in the first half. Happy for our kids, and we'll see if we can finish this out in the second half.
What do you tell the kids there at halftime? Obviously, you'll probably get a chance if you haven't got a lot of them in. I mean, the Pfeiffer boys, we've talked about all the guys, Wemhoffs, that have done the job. What did you tell them about halftime for the second half?
It's not the easiest thing to, you don't know exactly. You don't want to say it's over because it certainly isn't, but we're hopefully get some guys in, and we've had some guys do some good things all year, so hopefully they get a chance to shine here in the second half. It's a nice opportunity for them to kind of show what they got, so we're looking forward to it.
And finally, Coach, when did you become an air attack?
I don't know. That's a good question. We've thrown more tonight than we usually do, but we've got some guys that did it, so we're just happy how it went so far.
All right, Coach, congratulations on a great first half. Let's see if you can finish it out.
Okay, thank you.
Eric Kessler, head football coach, 48-0. They've done it, Larry J., about every way you can, on the ground, through the air, defensively.
It's been impressive. There's no doubt about that, and he has been impressive as well. Look at that, 169 total yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 passing, 2 rushing. Is it 3 interceptions?
Yeah.
Wow. So he's had 3 interceptions.
It's impressive. I mean, he's the, we said earlier, he's the player of the game right now. I mean, that's, throwing it, running, he's been impressive. He's shown the speed, he's shown the toughness, he's tried to run over guys. It's been, you couldn't draw, I mean, you can't draw it up much better for how you want your first half to go of a state title.
Well, if you're sitting at home watching and you're not out here enjoying this terrific weather like that young man, and you're like, hey, yeah, there you go, and you want to say hello, I want to remind you, you can also watch this game live on your computer, your tablet, or smartphone. Just go to netnebraska.org/sports, or you go to the free NET Nebraska app. Live streaming also supported through Apple TV and Chromecast. So get the free app at netnebraska.org/apps. 30 seconds away from kicking things off here in half number 2, and it has been a dominant, again, performance by Humphrey St. Francis. 48-0 lead. There's Eric Kessler in his 17th year, looking for state championship number 3 under Kessler.
You got to keep the guys focused still.
Right.
They've been up big. They've been at bigs. We talked about their average of points they scored, but still got some work to do. Obviously, 48-point lead, but you got to keep them focused. And you see the highlights here. What this young man has been able to do on the biggest of stages at Memorial Stadium.
Went almost the entire way. They gave him to it at the end. There's another throwing touchdown in it, one-handed interception. He's done about everything you can do.
I mean, the most impressive, he gets a one-hand interception. He throws a dime to Wemhoff down the far sideline the very next play. It's like, I mean, what else can the guy do? I mean, it's I mean, honestly, there's nothing. I mean, he is
good size too, right? I mean, he's 6'2".
Good athlete, yeah. Just
205.
Built well. Yep. Saw him come out and when they announced him, like, man, that's a kid that's put together well, and wasn't able to see a ton of film trying to prepare for these teams before. But he is this Humphrey St. Francis team has definitely impressed me with their attention to detail, and ability to make plays, and not surprised at all with seeing what the record's been this year.
Grady Chandler kicks it away, and it will be Pfeiffer taking it at the 5. Well, he hasn't done everything,
as I say,
but look out, he just might. Pfeiffer near sideline. Wow.
He must have heard us because I haven't returned a kick yet, guys.
Foreshadowing right there, huh? Holy cow. That was quite the return. Took it at the 5-yard line.
Deceptive speed, long strider, just smooth.
57-yard return for Pfeiffer. And now back out there at quarterback. Wemhoff, top of the eye for the Flyers. He'll take the handoff. Cuts it back up the middle. Good gain on first down for Wemhoff. It's a gain of 7, brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Flyers. Well, they call it 6. 2nd down and 4. Wemhoff has had a good afternoon as well. 15 carries for 69 yards, a touchdown. He's had a long of 17. Give to the fullback, first man through. That's Justin Liefeld with the carry. Liefeld with the carry. That brings up 3rd down and maybe a half yard. Very near a first down. Austin Liefeld now comes into the game for the Flyers. He'll be the fullback in front of Taylor Wemhoff. The keep, enough for a first down and enough for a touchdown as he powers his way for another touchdown.
Supposed to be a QB sneak, and gets it out there for 6, 7, 8 yards. Just a little off tackle and boom. Takes in, we talked about Tice Westland.
Right.
Good. I mean, that's just some strength there.
So Tanner Pfeiffer in there for the 2-point try. They have not failed on a 2-point try yet until right here.
It's about the one negative play I think Humphrey St. Francis has had all day right there.
I'll own that one. 54-0 St. Francis.
I got one in the first game.
That's right. We're in the second half. It is just a dominant performance by the Flyers from Humphrey.
After concussion, returning to the classroom is a priority of the NSAA. All brains return to learn. Not all brains return to play.
After recognizing that an athlete has suffered a concussion, it is important to monitor the symptoms in the classroom before allowing the athlete to return to extracurricular activities.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course once every 3 years.
More information is available on our website, nsaahome.org. Student athletes are students first, athletes second.
Hi everyone, the NET Production Remote Truck is on location ready for another live sports broadcast. Here's your invitation to join the NET Sports Partners Club and help ensure that the great sports we all love continue on NET. College athletics like Husker volleyball and baseball, and all the great high school sports state championships like girls and boys basketball, soccer, and more. Go online or give us a call right now and become a member of the NET Sports Partners Club.
We are back at Memorial Stadium. Guess what? Trevor Pfeiffer kicks it too.
Takes up that toe.
In between that last period, he was delivering popcorn to the stands. We're still trying to figure out what he doesn't do.
He might come up here and start calling the game for me.
The game. Taken to the 5-yard line by the talented Wentz. Breaks the tackle. Out near midfield. Check that. That's Kessler Dixon on the return. Dixon with a nice return out to the 29-yard line. Well, coming into this, Ricky Westland, the head coach of Pleasanton, talked about how difficult it would be to face this St. Francis Flyers team. He said they're going to have to take advantage of every opportunity. They have to play their game, eliminate all mistakes to hang in. That's a little bit too tall for Kessler Dixon. I think the thing that got them here to this game was, you know, taking advantage of every little miscue and really the beneficiary of a lot of good rolls to get here to the state title game. Of course, we talked about that Overton win in the semifinals. Overton had 5 turnovers in the game. These Bulldogs managed just 64 total yards, while Overton had 301. But there were several opportunities. They picked off a pass inside the 5, returned it for a touchdown. Had a great defensive stand from the 1-yard line. Just those little things ended up leading Pleasanton here to this title game.
And good, you know, good football teams will take advantage of those, and you make things happen. I mean, this is, we heard, you know, what the coach said going to halftime. You know, they weren't probably picked to be here, you know, early, you know, at the beginning of the season, but they did necessary things and made the plays they had to.
Oh, what a
there
crowd.
we go.
Into Flyer territory and a terrific catch by Tice Westland. Got the foot down and a bullet thrown by Keyshaw.
I was just thinking we haven't called his name much on offense because he's had 47 catches so far this year, and man, that is in there by, I mean, he is just inside the tape there. That is a not only a great throw, but man, that's a great catch getting that 1 foot down.
Did he maintain possession?
This might want to get reviewed.
It is going to be reviewed.
Just when we think they're going to get a play.
The previous play is under review. The ruling on the field is a completed catch.
Oh, mercy. Well, if this stands, it would be just the second time they have reached Flyer territory. But I have a feeling after we looked at that last replay, it's not going to stand.
Yeah.
Nearly a great catch. I think everybody was watching the toe touch. But did he ever really have possession? Let's watch. Here's Tice Westland. Goes up and gets it.
Has it.
But doesn't have a foot down yet. And then as he's coming down.
Good job by Pfeiffer there getting his hands in there to rip it out.
Never really had possession. It rolls off of him and onto the ground. And that will likely be an incomplete pass. Well, that's why we have the replay, right? Here in these state championships. If you're just joining us, this is the first year of replay in the NSAA High School Football Championships. They'll review plays like you just saw, also turnovers, touchdowns, plays in key moments that might impact the outcome. Here's a look at it. Examples of some of the automatic replays are scoring, turnovers, timing errors, a player down or out of bounds, which you're looking at now, a ball spot. And you can only reverse the call if the evidence is indisputable and that it proves the initial fundamentally sound. Said he hoped he could survive the tidal wave, and then he said, well, maybe it's going to be more like a tsunami. I think he knew something.
Yeah, he definitely knew something. It's well coached. Yep. They're super well coached, and he mixed that in with great
athletes.
After further
review, the player's foot was in bounds, but he did not complete the pass. So it's incomplete. We're going to go 4th down and 10 yards at the 29-yard line.
So good job to get it right. That's as we thought it might be. And that, I believe, is the first time. This will be a trivia question someday. In Nebraska NSAA football championships, what was the first play ever overturned by replay? And that was it.
7:29 in the 3rd quarter of the Class D2 state title game 2019.
Someday we're going to ask you to email NET Sports to win a t-shirt with that trivia question. Wide open down the field. Caught by Wint. Wint inside the 10 to the 5. Drug out at the 1-yard line, and a great catch by the freshman Trevin Wint on 4th down.
It's one bright spot today for Pleasanton has been Wint, the young freshman. He's made a bunch of catches, came into this game with 35 catches, well over 40 now in this game. Finally, something goes well for Pleasanton in this game, and good pitch and catch there.
They ran Westland right in front. He garnered the attention and nearly made it in.
Almost.
Let's look again here.
Good job,
Tyler. Sideline. All right, 1st and goal from the 1. In there for the touchdown, and the carry by Kessler Dixon. And Pleasanton is on the board.
Way to battle. So we can see for your guys, you know. Nothing's gone your way, but you come out, battle. It's never fun playing in games like this.
Right.
One thing you can always tell yourself is the film is always on. You know, the film is, you can always go back and watch this game. You don't want to go back and see yourself loafing or making mistakes.
Dixon in motion again, looks that way, flips it to the back, wide open. Toe touch for Westland, 2-point conversion good, and Pleasanton is on the board, including the 2-point conversion. Well, time now for our trivia question and answer. We asked you earlier in this game, which team has the most consecutive playoff appearances in Nebraska State football history? Randy Eisenhower from Elgin, Nebraska knew the answer, and he knew that it was this Sacred Heart squad. 32 consecutive playoff appearances, 87 to today.
Wow.
And looking for their 5th state championship this afternoon, and well on their way, on top 54-8. Well, you like the approach, right? You like the approach from Ricky Westland on this Pleasanton squad, even before going into half. Enjoy where you're at, know what you're doing, understand you're playing for a state title, and let's go play and have fun. And they've done that here to open up this second half. Onside kick, it's loose, and the Flyers are on it. Covered it up. So Kessler will call in the plays to the sophomore now, Tanner Pfeiffer. Tanner Pfeiffer along with Spencer Engel. And it looked like Trevor's day might be done. It's one of the things that, is kind of, I don't want to say hurt his statistics. Trevor probably, he's a returning all-state quarterback, probably in that category again, but he played maybe 2 3/4 of games where he was sitting early because of the success of this team. You
heard
ball. Doug Duda.
False start on the offense. Replay 1st down.
You know, say it earlier in the game, they're averaging 59 points per game to their opponent's 9. So they were in multiple games where they had a running clock and up by 35 and starters were done for the day, and that's the way it looks right now for Trevor Pfeiffer.
Yeah, you can always look at the the stats, but I mean obviously he is one of the best in this class, this D2 class.
Good. Cuts it back up on the carry by Spencer Engel. Engel, a sophomore. Getting a look at the future here of this Flyers squad with the sophomore Engel carrying and the sophomore Tanner in there at quarterback, Tanner Pfeiffer.
Seen Tanner in here early in the game. Some likes to get in there in the 2-point play scenarios. Try to get one to his older brother earlier. He ended up running in for himself.
Pfeiffer keeps it. He has some room. Drug down after a gain of about 8 or 9. That'll bring up 3rd down. There's a look at the numbers for Tanner this afternoon. Couple receptions, 39 yards, both of those for touchdowns. Now getting some action under center here in the 3rd quarter. Justin Liefeld in there at the top of the eye. Fake the give to Liefeld, rolling to his right, he's got some room. And shoved out of bounds very near a 1st down. Might be about a half yard short. We'll see where they mark it. And they do mark it about a half yard short at the 39.5. They need the 39 for a 1st down, right at midfield.
Play. So, I mean, talk about Westland, his skills defensively, and obviously get some good looks to play at the next level.
Yeah.
Nice size, big boy, run, show his speed and athleticism there, chasing down Pfeiffer.
On 3rd they go for it, get the 4th they go for it and get the 1st down. So on 4th and short, they keep it alive.
It's like that little, can't really call it a QB sneak, but yeah, it's just almost like a wow. QB lead. It's just, you get a block down and a seal block and big hole for Pfeiffer to get through.
Spinning out of the 1st tackle, not much there on the carry for the sophomore Engel. Good tackle made by Jackson Keyshaw. As we take a look at this Humphrey St. Francis Flyers squad and Eric Kessler. Eric also serves as the athletic director for this school. And he's got some decisions to make here after this year. Not many people have discussed, but their numbers are low enough now that Kessler and these Flyers could drop down and play 6-man football next year. They've been playing at the junior high level because their numbers are, as there's a flag on the play and dropped by Austin Forney, his 1st carry. But their numbers at the junior high level are low enough that they've been playing 6-man football at the junior high level. And in the conversation with Eric, when I asked him about that, he said, you know, we haven't really talked about it. Nobody's really mentioned the possibility, but he is the AD and the due date is the 30th of this month to make that decision. He said the numbers will not be good for a few, about 14 or 15, and if they were another school, he said they may make the decision to drop to 6-man, but because of the tradition of this school and how well they've done and the powerhouse they've been in 8-man football, that he says he would be very surprised if they made the decision to go to 6-man, even if, you know, if they have an injury or two, that puts you in a really precarious position fielding 8 players when you only have 14 or 15 boys out for football. It's completion there.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine making that call. The history you have, we've seen the stat, all the many of the state championships, state runner-ups. I mean, they are, you know, powerhouse within this D2 program, and that's tough. That's tough. You want to represent and be in a situation to compete, but again, you have to do what's best for your program, for your school, for your kids. You hear about that so much now. Teams having to forfeit because they get hurt, sickness. You don't. That's just, you want to do that, and you've had so much success. All of a sudden, to go through those, it just doesn't look good.
Rolling to his right, has a man wide open out of the flat. Complete down the far sideline, shoved out of bounds at about the 5 on the catch by Liefeld. Austin Liefeld. 26-yard completion.
A couple guys there, a couple options there to run him free.
Good block downfield. That will set up 1st and goal. They're going to call it spotted at the 3-yard line. Very near the goal line, comes up about a half-yard short. That block we mentioned for St. Francis was Jaden Cush, the freshman. So we're seeing some underclassmen out here getting an opportunity, freshmen and sophomores, as the time ticks down here in quarter number 3. It's been a dominant performance, not only in half number 1, but here in the 3rd quarter by this Humphrey St. Francis squad, and they lead it 54-8 after 3 quarters. We head to the 4th here at Memorial Stadium. We'll crown a champion in the next 12 minutes from here in Lincoln.
The money that comes from Constellation goes directly back into our county 4-H program. So they're directly impacting young people and the development of young people, whether that's leadership development, citizenship development, or helping them develop life skills.
Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Your car has been with you a long time, through the months and years. Now it's time to let it go. Donate it. Support the programming you love.
The 2019 NSAA State High School Football Championships continues tomorrow on NET. Visit netnebraska.org/sports for game times. Live streaming is available at the NET website and on the NET Nebraska app.
Well, while we were away, they continued to run a play, and it's a touchdown for the Flyers. Here's a look at it. Give to Liefeld right up the middle, and that makes it 60-8. Now they're going for 2. Back live here. 2-point try. Toss to the sophomore. Cuts it back inside. And Engel in there for the 2-point conversion. 62-8. Flyers on top. Pretty dominant performance by Eric Kessler's club. They are just 11 minutes and 58 seconds away from winning their first state championship since 2015. They were runner-up in 2012 when they lost to Giltner. State champions in 2009, runner-up in 2008, and state champs back in 2015. Back deep now to take the kick. Kessler Dixon and Trevin Wint. Let's see if they give Wint another opportunity here to take one back. There's the freshman. Squibbed along the ground that will go out of bounds. He's human.
He is human. He's been cold, though. He's not to come out and kick.
Not even fair, is it?
Right.
Kickoff infraction. Receiving team elects to re-kick. 5-yard penalty.
Well, now he gets to
redeem himself.
Yeah.
Right? And another opportunity for Dixon and Wint. Take it to the 8-yard line. Here is Wint. Nice job and nice play defensively by Caden Hackenrott. Hackenrott with the tackle.
good coverage. Easy to get pretty lethargic and lackadaisical in this type of game, and it just shows you good coaching, good attention to details, getting back in his lane, got outside of it, gets back into it, and able to take down the young freshman there. One bright spot so far today for Pleasanton. Trevin Wint.
Goes up top, has a man down there, nearly caught it, but just off the fingertips of Kessler Dixon.
It's a good ball. Good ball by Keachas. He had a couple opportunities to complete some passes. Just not the day for Pleasanton. And
ooh. That close. Keyshaw back out there, quarterback in the shotgun, drops back over the middle. A little too tall for Kessler Dixon, who was the intended receiver.
It was a tough one. Pressure in the face. Feet weren't balanced.
You see the clock continuing to run even after the incompletion here in the second half. The 35-point deficit engages that running clock. The only time it will stop is for timeouts and touchdowns and change of possessions. Ball on the ground. They're going to say he touched his knee to the ground when he went down to get it, and that's going to be a loss of 7 or 8 and bring up 4th down.
Second time that's happened today. Gets a bad snap and gets on the knee to take it down. That was a fastball to the toes. That's a tough one to handle.
Timeout will be taken here by the Pleasanton Bulldogs. So they'll talk it over here on 4th down and 16 upcoming. 62-8 your score. St. Francis on top here in this Class D2 state championship. Well, sports fans, NET is for you. We bring you more Nebraska high school sports than any other Nebraska network. For more information on dates, on times, on DVD sales, available webcasts, just go to our website at netnebraska.org/sports or to our Facebook page at facebook.com/NET Sports. And you see they traveled from all over, including 750 miles away to watch these Pleasanton Bulldogs play. Let's go down to the field with Doug Duda.
Well, for some of these guys, it will not be their final high school football game, even as seniors. Of course, the annual Sertoma 8-man All-Star football game is held every June. You've got the Shrine Bowl in Kearney the first Saturday, and then 2 weeks later, the Sertoma 8-man game. And they have recently started an 8-man high school football Hall of Fame, the 4th induction class. They just had a meeting again yesterday. That'll be finalized in January. Humphrey St. Francis, they've got a few names that could go there, either now or in the past.
Had a man wide open and just a little late getting there.
Good job by Forney breaking on the ball.
Knocked down by Forney, and Westland was right there, just hung a little bit too long. So the change of possession here. Well, those three coaches on that sideline, all wearing blue polos, have been together for 14 years. Every class that they have coached, every graduating class they have coached since 2009, at least once has made it here to Memorial Stadium. They've coached those boys to 169 wins, 4 state title games, winning 2. This is the 5th. Looks like they're going to pick up state title number 3. There's Coach Weisler.
Consistency is a beautiful thing.
No kidding.
Another team that plays in the stadium needs to learn a thing or two about that.
Weisler is the brother of the girls basketball coach at Why Not. There's Dave Strickland. Nothing doing up the middle. Been together for a long time. It leads to championships. I think that's what Coach Kessler said. He said they all think very much alike, and he said the first time that he decided to hire Weisler, he just did it on the advice and suggestion of Strickland. Said, I'd never met him. He showed up at practice. He's a great guy, but he'll do anything for us. He turns on the lights, throws the tarps out. He's a football guy. And they have the same mindset of how to do things and how to handle the kids. And for them to stay at the same place all together for 14 plus years, it leads to moments like this when you are 7 minutes away from a state title.
It's a cool thing when you get down to, 8-man football. Everyone has to be supremely unselfish. You got to do everything. You just can't be the head coach. You're probably the head coach and trainer sometimes, and a lot of guys got to wear many different hats, just like the players do. You see Fiver playing safety, playing quarterback, playing kicker.
Right.
I mean, it's just, it's fun and cool to see.
Well, the Bulldogs have not stopped playing. They're still popping the pads out there as Kessler Dixon with the nice tackle. Also out there to turn it back inside. Brady Klein, the strong safety for the Bulldogs. Talked with Coach Ricky Westland earlier this week. He's been there for 23 years. He said, hey, isn't that Doug Duda guy doing the sidelines for you? I said, yeah. He said, he's a Hall of Famer for everything he does for the kids and the high school athletics around the state. That guy is a Hall of Famer. He said that about you, Doug. I'm not sure why.
I tell you got to keep him out of the Kool-Aid at night, boys.
Those late night conversations with coaches, huh?
Well, I had to lean on Doug. I've been out to Kearney to, hop on his radio show and do some speaking engagements out there. And knowing he was calling these games along with me, I had to lean on him. I have never watched 8-man football before. Yeah. I had to lean on him. What am I looking for? What am I expecting? He's does all the radio for most of these games, and he got me prepared as well. Man of vast knowledge in the 8-man game.
I appreciate the kind words, guys. Pleasanton's just trying to find a way right now to get into the end zone here, because you don't want to be that team when you pick up the program and you look who had the biggest win ever, and St. Francis is trying to get the biggest win in D2 finals history. 49 by Sacred Heart earlier this decade, and back in '98 Butte won by 47. Of course, right now the margin is 54, so there's still something. The Flyers know they were kind of disappointed that they gave up the shutout a little bit, but that's the competitive spirit they have down here.
On 3rd and 1, complete over the middle. Nice grab, and the freshman pulls it in again. And that is the 9th catch of the game for Trevin Wint, over the 100-yard mark receiving with that catch. He has a long of 50, averaged better than 12 yards per catch. You know, the other thing that Coach Westland made a point of is, you know, they have 8 seniors on this squad from Pleasanton who've been instrumental. Not all of them are starters. Not all of them have been big contributors, as there's Wint again with a nice grab. But he said, you know, they got guys in the scout team that are seniors who've stuck this out. Seniors who usually are on a scout team are not guys that stick around very long, right?
No,
I mean, when you're,
absolutely not.
When you're not contributing as maybe a junior, sometimes you decide, okay, maybe this isn't for me. But some of his seniors like Grady Chandler and Riley Hadwiger and TJ Bailey are guys that might contribute here and there, but they're not starters. But he said he could not be more proud of these seniors for what they've done for this Pleasanton program. They're going to say that was complete on a nice comeback grab by Tice Westland.
Really nice grab.
And again, Bulldogs not going away. 3:15.
Going to the ground. Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh,
what a
look,
grab.
it was a heck of a grab. Up against the forearm.
What a great concentration, focus by Tice Westland, who's getting some looks from colleges. Got good frames, 6'4", 212. Incomplete there on the attempt to Trevin Wint. And Wint now with 10 catches, 123 yards as you look at Westland. He's visited Iowa State already. Interest from Buena Vista in Storm Lake. Good frame though, 6'4", obviously can get a lot bigger with that 6'4" frame, 212, just a junior. It'll be interesting to see if he projects as more of a defensive player where he leads this team in tackles and interceptions and tackles for losses, or as a receiver with his good size. Into the end zone, and there he is on cue. Tice Westland for the touchdown.
Nice little wheel route up top. I was looking his way the whole time, and hopefully Keachel was as well. And that was just a good throw. Here you go. A little wheel route. Goes up to high points. Good grab. Way to keep battling, competing for Pleasanton. That's what you like to see. That's how you build good culture.
Right.
That's what you need to do. They have a lot of players come back next year. This team was just 2-6 last year. Just how you keep building and.
Little toss out into flat for the 2-point conversion, which is good. Kessler Dixon takes it in. So 62-16. 2:11 to go here. Good fight from that Pleasanton squad. I want to remind you, if you would like a DVD copy of these state high school championships from right here at Memorial Stadium, it's not too difficult to get. All you have to do is call 800-868-1868. And for just $19.95 plus shipping and handling, you can relive all of the excitement from this year's championships for years to come. Jay Moore has offered to buy the first 5 callers to his cell phone a DVD copy on his dime. That was very nice of you, Jay.
No problem.
We'll give out your cell phone now. It is, we'll go ahead and give it.
308.
Let's go down to the field to Doug Duda.
That's one of those 555 numbers, you guys.
8675.
Well, as they get ready to kick it off here, got a chance to talk with the Scottsbluff coaching staff. They came in and watched a little bit of the game. I'll finish that after the kick here, but it's going to go out of bounds, so we'll finish it off for you. Of course, a lot of concerns with the weather. I talked to the coaches and I said, what's the plan for tonight? And he goes, well, we came out yesterday, stopped in Kearney, worked at Kearney High for the long trip out here. Of course, they had to come out last week to play Roncalli. He says, we really only have 11 kids that we have to bus home. Everybody else is checked out and will find their way home with their parents. But he goes, tonight they have rooms booked in Kearney, booked in North Platte, and they will go back as far as they can and see how it goes. But they're worried about their football game and then trying to find a way to get back home where the storm has already started.
Yeah, what are they saying, Doug? 12 to 15 inches out in western part of Nebraska and in the Panhandle?
That's what they're talking. It's going to be a bad one, and a lot of folks are going to be watching you guys tonight with that football game back at the theater, and a lot of establishments back there in Scottsbluff. They're going to try and get a little revenge on Scott.
That should be a good one tonight. The 12-0 Bearcats, the 12-0 Skyhawks, a rematch of last year's state championship game. Yeah, we should mention, we know that it's being played in the theater out there in Scottsbluff, so if you couldn't get here, head on out. NET and the Nebraska School Activities Association have agreed to allow it to be held there at the theater so that the fans can get there, and to the Midwest Theater, they can get there. And look at this. Number 140 is gone. Touchdown. 53-yard touchdown for 40. Austin Forney, a junior.
Nice. Well, again, QB lead on the toss. We've seen it all day in both games, but then Forney just turns into the Jets. Nice speed here. One more touchdown for Humphrey St. Francis.
Wow. Thought that might have been the drive to run out the clock. It was the drive to put more points on the board. Well, let's see if they can hit 70. 2-point conversion. That's good. And they're there. This is now 70 is the most points ever scored in a Class D2 8-man championship. Previous it was Odell back in 1982 as they knocked off Hordeville 66-22. Largest margin of victory. I think you heard Doug Duda say it earlier, but it was Sacred Heart who finished that year 13-0, beat Stewart 63-14. So this right now has exceeded that mark, and it's now the responsibility of the Bulldogs to come out here and score another one, so it won't be. Back deep once again, Dixon and Wint. At the 5-yard line. Here is Wint, goes to the far side. Blockers in front of him, he'll be drugged down at the 15-yard line. Return of 10 yards for Trevin Wint.
Got Pleasanton next year. I mean, you can build a really good football team around Wint.
Right.
And Westland. And some good players coming back. Not be surprised to see them back here next year, get darn close.
Yep. Timeout taken here by Pleasanton as they'll likely try to get some more players into the game. Experience here at Memorial Stadium for some of the young'uns. Earlier today, it was that battle between Burwell and Osceola. Osceola won it in D1. Here in D2, it looks like it'll be all St. Francis. Hey, the NET News documentary And the Floods Came, Nebraska 2019, takes a day-by-day and at times even a minute-by-minute account of what may have been one of the worst natural disasters in Nebraska history. NET News documents the stories of survivors, first responders, and local communities during the flood of March. There it is, And the Floods Came. You can catch it on netnebraska.org/floods. They give up the middle to Broderick Pates. Pates, another one of those underclassmen for Pleasanton. He's just a junior. Plays both running back and defensive back for the Bulldogs. Linebacker. In there at quarterback now is the backup quarterback, sophomore Craig Kingston. Kingston hands it off to Patesel again. Pates again. And that might be the last play of the game as time ticks down here on a state championship for the St. Francis Flyers. So once again, Eric Kessler leads his Flyers to a state title. They are the champs in 2019. Well, what a dominant performance by Humphrey St. Francis. The most points ever scored in a Class D2 title game and the largest margin of victory in 8-man football all time. So the handshake's happening in midfield. When we come back, medals and trophies will be handed out to both of these outstanding teams. Stay with us right here on NET Sports.
This is NET, Nebraska's public television station.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Hi, this is Marion Ross. Please join me and Gavin MacLeod in A Classic Christmas.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Thursday night at 8 Central on NET.
Amazing, right?
This is awesome.
Yeah! Congrats.
Well done.
Make Wednesday night on PBS your destination for exploration, beginning with nature.
The huge holes they dig are taken over by other creatures.
Followed by Nova.
Researchers are tracking the most vulnerable animals.
And the PBS NewsHour presents.
It's hurting animals. It's in our food chain. Plastic is everywhere.
Nature, Nova, and the PBS NewsHour presents Wednesday night, starting at 8/7 Central, only on PBS.
Coverage of the 2019 NSAA High School Football Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, Aurora Cooperative, Constellation Energy, Sarpy County Tourism. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We could not do it without your support. We are back at Memorial Stadium. The Flyers are the champs in Class D2, the largest margin of victory, most points ever scored in an 8-man football state championship game. Time now for medal and trophy presentations. Let's go to Heath Kramer.
School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller, NSAA Board of Directors Dan Kieser from Sutherland, Dr. Bob Resnicek from Boys Town, and U.S. Bank Representative Steve Mayer. Here are the awards for runner-up Pleasanton High School. Head coach Ricky Westland and his assistants will present the silver medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. Number 2, Ray Kingston. Number 4, Seth Eckel. Number 8, Tice Westland. Number 9, Brady Klein. Number 10, Trevin Wentz. Number 11, Chase Pulaski. Number 13, Tanner Dixon. Number 15, Wyatt Reese. Number 16, Grady Chandler. Number 21, Kessler Dixon. Number 25, Riley Hadwiger. Number 26, Tyler Bailey. Number 31, Broderick Pates. Number 32, Connor Hand. Number 35, Jackson Keyshaw. Number 54, Carter Klein. Number 55, Mason Lammers. Number 56, Kobe Martinson. Number 94, Jayshawn Pugh. And number 98, Blake Wilson. For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2019 NSAA Class D2 State Football Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Pleasanton High School.
Congratulations to Pleasanton. Runners-up in Class D2. You think about these seniors on this team. Prior to this year, they were just 11-15. And the turnaround they've had to get to 10-2, now 10-3, and a runner-up trophy here at Memorial Stadium. What a terrific season.
Yeah, you just want to build. You got some important key players coming back for on next year's team. You just build off of that. Take what you've obviously done well, build, improve on what you need to do better, and you go from there. And hopefully you get back here next year.
So back to Heath Kramer for the presentation of medals and a trophy to our champs.
Now, to the champions, Humphrey St. Francis High School. Head coach Eric Kessler, we have a special award for you. Coach Kessler and his assistants will present the gold medals. Players, as your name is called, please come forward. Number 1, Austin Forney. Number 2, Taylor Wemhoff. Number 3, Spencer Engel. Number 4, Landon Cush. Number 5, Trevor Pfeiffer. Number 6, Tanner Pfeiffer. Number 7, Justin Liefeld.
Great job, Justin. Great job. You really stepped up.
Number 11, Tyrell Wegner. Number 12, Isaac Clausen. Number 14, Jaden Cush. Number 24, Caden Hackerott. Number 25, Evan Foltz. Number 28, Keegan Hackerott. Number 31, Austin Leifeld. Number 42, Kale Clausen. Number 44, Dustin Omer. Number 50, Carter Welch. Number 55, Dylan Wemhoff. Number 80, Colby Clausen. Number 86, Sam McPhillips. Number 88, Tristan Clausen. And number 94, Colton Whitfeld. Presenting the championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance is Vice President of Underwriting, Chad DeLuey. And for these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2019 NSAA Class D2 State Football Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Humphrey St. Francis High School.
First title since 2015 for Humphrey St. Francis, and once again in 2019 they are state champs. And look at the records they set here at Memorial Stadium. Most points scored ever in 8-man football, not just D2, and then the highest margin of victory ever in 8-man football as well. It was quite a performance, and they did it from the get-go. Did not slow down, and that roll just kept going.
Yeah, impressive. I mean, the Pfeiffer brothers, the Wemhoffs, you name, they dominated from start to finish. Even more impressive, just see those haircuts on some of those guys now.
You like the mullet, huh?
Well, I'm not saying I'd ever wear a mullet, but hey, you know what? Looks pretty good on him. He can rock it.
Rock what you want when you're a state champ,
Absolutely.
including that trophy.
Yeah, he did everything. I mean, threw it, caught it, intercepted it, kicked it.
Yep. Let's go down on the field. Doug Duda is with the head coach.
Well, another state championship for Humphrey St. Francis. You've had some on the hardwood. You've had some here on the football field. Coach, you had a really dominating season. Last week, Sacred Heart was really the only team that gave you a football game. You completed it here today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a special group of guys. We knew coming into this year, we thought we had the chance to be really good and maybe be even special, and I think tonight maybe we proved that. I mean, it's just been a great year. The kids have worked super hard, been super focused from May 25th till now, and it's gratifying that it came out the way we wanted it to.
What made it special? You had the playmakers, you got Wemhoff and the big boys up front. You seem to have every portion of this offense and defense and special teams covered for just an 8-man school. And I don't mean that as just an 8-man school. I mean that as a dominant 8-man school.
No, I understand. You know, it starts with seniors. When you have 8 seniors that have played for 4 years, they kind of know how we do things. They know how we work in the weight room. They know how we work at practice. And then very talented guys. So they work hard and they're good athletes and good students, good kids. That's it kind of as a total package. And then we had some younger classmen that really stepped on and came along as well. So just it's one of those special teams. You don't get them very often. You may not get another one. You never know. But we're going to enjoy this one tonight.
Well, and speaking of that, Larry and Jay were talking about the numbers will be down. How close are we on a decision of the future of the St. Francis football program?
I don't know. We're going to enjoy this one. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Actually, we've got a need to worry about basketball here too, but we'll worry about that tomorrow.
I have a feeling we'll probably see you later on this season on the basketball court too. Coach, congratulations. Go enjoy.
All right. Thank you.
That's Eric Kessler, head football coach of Humphrey St. Francis. We'll run down a few of the players as they roll over here. We've got the brothers, Trevor and Tanner Pfeiffer, and we'll be talking as well with Dylan Wemhoff. But let's bring in Tanner, the younger of the two. Let's bring the brother over here, because I think this is a great tandem right here. The guys were joking a little bit about you guys playing catch and playing football in the backyard. Tell me a little bit about some of those memories and what it was like to finish it off here today.
Oh, I used to stand at the way back at the fence, and I would throw him the ball as far, like we would just see how far we could throw the ball, and for him to catch it. And we were just like little, we're like this tall, and we played catch like that ever since we were little guys.
You've always wanted to score a little bit in the backyard, but to be able to do it not only in a state championship, whether it's a touchdown or a 2-point conversion, but to do it from your brother, that's special too.
Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's a reality now.
You guys pretty much took care of business all season long. You got out to such a good start here today. What was it like to be able to get this thing put away by halftime?
I knew it was probably possible, but it felt really good to do it because we knew we had a good team and we're disciplined and we worked so hard. We prepared every week and we prepared really hard this week.
Dylan, there's been a lot been made about the seniors always being a class to get to play in the state championship and how important that win was for you last week. What was the last week here for you after beating Sacred Heart to get down here to the state final?
It was just more hard work. That's what it was. I mean, we didn't really take any days off. We knew what we had to get done. We knew it wouldn't be easy, but I mean, it kind of seemed like that, but we worked so hard. I don't know.
Well, these for ourselves. Yeah. We made our bed in the summer when we worked so hard every day.
Well, these guys are scoring the touchdowns, but you guys up front are kind of opening some holes up there, you and Foltzy and the rest of the crew. Talk about having just pleasure and able to do that.
It's a pretty good feeling watching them. I mean, you usually don't get all the glory, but I mean, just watching them just score how many touchdowns, it's pretty great. And just knowing that you're a part of this, being a part of something bigger than yourself is pretty great.
This will make Thanksgiving dinner a little bit better, guys.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Members of the Humphrey St. Francis Flyers, Trevor and Tanner Pfeiffer, along with Dylan Wemhoff, finish an undefeated season. Came so close last year before being beaten in the semifinals by the eventual champ. Now they reign the D2 world here in 2019. And Jay and Larry, thanks for the kind words earlier. It was a pleasure working with you guys today.
Great job down there, Doug. We certainly appreciate it, and boy, what a pleasure to be down there among that and to see kind of history made here today at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, you can see why this team is able to do what they do. I mean, you have the kids; they know what the work and how important it is to lean on each other and take care of business. And it's not easy, and they put the work in and put the effort to come out on top, and it showed today.
Well, don't forget, coming up later tonight, the Class B State Championship. It's a rematch of last year's title showdown between Scott and Scotts Bluff. That's coming up tonight right here on NET at 7 o'clock. But one final time for the D2 Championship. Once again, the final 70-16. Humphrey St. Francis is your 2019 Class D2 State Champs. So for Jay Moore, for Doug Duda, and for our entire NET Sports production crew, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight. And good night from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln.